Hi everyone, I hope you have been working on your informative speech unit throughout the past couple of weeks. Remember, we have 10 days left. 10 days left. Remember, your informative speech unit is going to be due on October 1st. If you happen to click around the deadline area and you see something about October 2nd, please pay close attention. October 2nd at 12 a.m., which is basically October 1st. Okay, so please pay close attention to that. Get your all of your assignments in early. The earlier that you get them in, the faster I'm able to grade it, especially with that topic assignment and the preparation outline assignment. So keep that in mind. I just wanted to get one last video in for this unit so we can have an opportunity to go through some of the documents that I put in your speech documents file, which is all the way at the bottom of your informative speech unit. So we're going to go ahead and run through those right now. The first one that I have available for you is common mistakes. Common mistakes. All right. While you're doing your speech or preparing for your speech, common mistakes, not practicing or timing your speech. It's really important that you practice your speech at least 10 times, at least 10 times. I'd probably say maybe 20 times even. You want to make sure that you have a good handle on it. Even with an online class, people get really nervous when it comes to public speaking. So make sure that your mind and your mouth are used to saying the words that you're supposed to say in the order that you're supposed to say them. All right. That being said, you do need to make sure that you're timing your speech whenever you're practicing your speech. Your informative speech is going to be 3 to 5 minutes. It needs to be within that 3 to 5 minute limit. So keep that in mind as well. Next, starting with your central idea. Remember, your central idea should be the last sentence in your introduction. Your attention getter needs to be the first thing that comes out of your mouth. Okay? Make sure that you end your speech with impact and ask if there are, don't ask if there are any questions. No need to do that. Number 3, starting with personal information. Starting with personal information. I'm sick. I'm nervous. I don't feel good. I didn't prepare very well for this. Okay. At this point, none of that matters. I don't need to hear any of that. Your audience doesn't need to hear any of that either. Just do the best that you can. Forgetting that it's your day to give a speech, that doesn't really apply to y'all. Unless you forget after October 2nd. Assuming that you can just make it up because you forgot, you definitely will not be able to make up any assignments in this class. That's the reason why you get so much time, is because I cannot go back and have you make up assignments if you forget. I don't have the time frame for this class in the online setting. So please get your stuff in on time. Reading your speech. I do let you use index cards, 3 by 5, 3 to 5, 3 by 5. That being said, please do not read off of your index cards. Of course, I'll be able to see that because I will have eyes. Your index cards are up here and you're reading off of your index cards. It's painfully obvious. People that read off of their index cards do have a tendency to speak faster because they're not actually talking, they're reading, right? So keep that in mind. Playing music during your speech, there's no need to do that. Okay, passing out handouts during your speech is a great way to distract your audience from what you're actually saying. So you will be expected to have a visual aid. That being said, don't pass it out to your audience members. Okay. Not speaking during a demonstration. If you choose to do a process speech, remember one of the 4 options that you have: an object speech, events, concepts, or process. All right. If you choose to do a process or a how-to speech, make sure that you're speaking while you're actually doing the presentation. Okay. Responding to the audience's reaction to your speech. I haven't had very much issue with this, except for this semester. So please be mindful of that. Sometimes when we get nervous, we tend to spout out a little bit. If the audience has given us some weird looks, Keep that to yourself. Of course, that feedback is important and you do need to absorb that feedback, but you need to figure out how you're going to make your speech better during your speech, not addressing people in the middle of your speech. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. In terms of your outline, waiting right before the deadline to submit it, I urge you, please get that preparation outline taken care of. The faster that you can get your topic assignment, your topic outline to me and your preparation outline, get that feedback from me, okay? The faster you'll be able to turn in your speech and your preparation outline for your speech, and it'll be correct, and the better off it'll be. Okay, so don't wait up until the last minute. Not typing it. Hopefully that won't be a problem in this class. Please type everything. Okay, don't send me a picture of something that you wrote. Forgetting the proper heading. I need name, date, class time, speech type. Y'all are not my only class, although you're my favorite class. All right. Forgetting the bibliography. Remember that you have to have a bibliography. It needs to be in MLA format. I need 4 sources for everyone's speech. You need to give me 4 sources, 1.com. Okay. You can have more than 4 sources, but you at least need 4. Okay. And in terms of audience, not keeping up with your evaluations, you will, as an audience member, as in looking at the people that submit their speeches, you will be evaluating them. The week after October 1st, I will open up the module workshop portal so everyone can see other people's submissions. That being said, everyone has been put into groups. Remember I said in the beginning of the semester, you're going to have groups 1, 2, and 3. You've already been put into groups 1, 2, and 3, and you should have already started working on assignments in groups 1, 2, and 3 by now. So you will still be in those groups for the informative speech. So you should have about 9 or 10 people that you need to, look at their videos and evaluate them based on the following questions. What did they do well? What do they need to work on? And number 3, general comments. General comments. You do need to give me a response for all 3 questions for everyone in your group. If you don't do that, you're not going to get your 20 points, and it's a very easy 20 points. Okay, so keep that in mind. Next is the speech commandments. Some general things to remember. Okay, please don't wear a hat when you're giving your speech, all right? I need to see your face. I need to see your eyes, okay? No hats. Don't chew gum, because how can you talk and chew gum at the same time? And please don't demonstrate to me how you can do that. I will catch you. Because I chew gum, so I know how to hide it. Don't wear distracting clothing. You do have a copy of the departmental policy for dress code for public speaking class. If you're unfamiliar with it, go look in the syllabus and read that over again. Make sure that you're properly dressed. Even though this is an online class, you will still have an audience, so you need to make sure that you're properly dressed. No oral excuses. You don't need to worry about that. Don't check to see how much time that you have left. Okay, some students have asked me if they could wear a watch, which is totally fine with me. That being said, I better not see your cell phone getting pulled out of your pocket to check the time. That's why it's important to practice with a timer. And speaking of timer, we do have some time deductions. If for any reason that you do not fit within the 3 to 5 minute time limit, you do have a possibility of getting points deducted. I'm going to give you 15 seconds or less, so I won't deduct anything if you're 15 seconds or less. So your speech is 3 to 5 minutes and you end at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That was lucky, and I won't take points off. If you end at 2 minutes and 44 seconds, I will take 5 points off. I do time it all the way down to the second. So please practice with a timer. Take a look at that time deduction chart right here that I have for you. Same thing goes for over the time limit. I give you an extra 5 seconds, so 1 to 20 seconds. I'm not going to take anything off. 21 to 60 seconds, 2 points off. 61 to 120 seconds, 5 points off, so on and so forth. If you give me a speech that's 1 minute and 30 seconds, you're going to get an F. And that's as simple as it is. So there's that. Next, we have the informative speech rubric. And again, all of these documents can be found in your unit, all the way at the bottom in the speech documents folder, okay? So in terms of your evaluation, this is the way I will evaluate you. Please pay close attention to this, okay? This is the way that I'm going to evaluate you. In terms of the introduction, did you gain the audience's attention and interest? All right, with an attention grabber. Remember the options that you have available to you for that. Did you introduce the topic clearly? Remember, I need to know what you're talking about within the first 3 to 4 sentences of your speech. Did you establish credibility? How do you know this information? You need to tell us, I learned about this from blah. I work here, and that's how I know about this information. I study this. I go through this, my entire life. I've searched whatever you're going to talk about. You need to tell us how you know about that information. Next, previewing the body of the speech. Previewing the body of the speech. Remember that the preview is also known as your central idea, also known as your preview statement. Okay, all 3 of those require 3 main points. You need to have that in your introduction. Okay, you also need to relate your topic to the audience. Why do we need to know about this? Why is this important for us to know about? Okay, if you've gotten a chance to check out that video, that TED Talk about how to be a great public speaker, the secret to great public speaking. The guy talks about ideas worth sharing. Make sure that your idea is worth sharing. The best part about this evaluation is that in the introduction, you should think of the introduction requirements as steps. Okay? Gained attention and interest, step 1. Introduce topic clearly, step 2. Establish credibility, step 3. Preview body of speech, step 4. And relate it to the audience, step 5. Okay, make sure that you hit all of those points, all right? Make sure that it's painfully obvious so I can give you your points. In terms of body of the speech, your main points absolutely do need to be clear. If I have to do any type of guesswork while I'm looking at your preparation outline, or if your preparation outline says something different from what you're saying, you're going to get points off, okay? Main points are fully supported. You do need to have oral citations. So you have the 4 sources that are required in your bibliography. You need to use those and talk about them and say, give us some oral citations discussing the author, whoever may have wrote an article that you looked at, or if you interviewed someone, you need to mention that. Chapter 7 is a good resource for oral citations, so check that out. Making sure that your organization is well planned. This is a really big one, even though it is scored the same as everything else. A lot of things on this list point to organization well planned. Okay, if you don't fully support your main points and you don't give me oral citations, did you plan very well organizationally? No, right? If your main points aren't clear, is your organization well planned? Absolutely not. If I have to do guesswork with your introduction and you didn't give me an attention getter and you forgot your credibility, is your organization well planned? Absolutely not. Okay. Start thinking about this evaluation sheet right here as something that's interconnected. These items are not separate. They're interconnected. meaning that they all play off of each other. Okay, so you may have a situation where if you get some points off for something over here, you may also get points off for another item because they're so closely related. Next, connectives. Make sure that your connectives are effective. Connecting your ideas together. Don't just jump from main point number one over to main point number two. I need to have some type of connecting sentence. Okay. Language needs to be clear and concise. I need to understand what you're saying. Look through that chapter if you need to again on delivery, chapter 13, and using your vocal variety. Okay, or the tools and levers that you have in your voice, volume, pitch, rate, articulation, pronunciation. Those things are important, especially through video. Okay, so keep that in mind. That being said, I'd say most of the students do very well with language clear and concise and language appropriate. As long as I can hear you and you don't curse, you're going to get 10 points. Okay, so think of it that way. In terms of conclusion, you need to prepare us for the ending. It doesn't matter how great your speech is. Everyone wants to know when it's going to end. The best way to do that is say, and in conclusion, perfect. In conclusion, in closing, I would like to close with, however you want to say it, but I need to know, oh, okay, that's the conclusion. So they're about to wrap it up. All right. And lastly, make sure that you reinforce your central idea. Some people forget to do this. The best way to think about public speaking is in the beginning, you tell them what you're going to tell them. You tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. Okay? You're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. Then you're going to tell them, and then you're going to tell them what you told them. The conclusion represents you telling us what you've already told us. Okay, so make sure that you reiterate your central idea and your main points. Okay, in terms of delivery, that's going to be a combination of several things for 10 points, which include maintaining eye contact, presenting your visual aid well, which is going to be worth 4 points by itself, using your voice effectively, using physical action effectively, all of that for 10 points. Next is your overall evaluation. Was your topic challenging, or did you decide to talk about how cigarettes are bad for you? Right? Was your topic challenging? Specific purpose, was it well chosen? Was your speech adapted to the audience? Was your speech completed in the time limit? I'm going to be evaluating all of these things with a combination for 10 points. So please get a look at this evaluation sheet. The last document that we have here is something that I've just added. I think it's going to be really helpful for you. So please look at it, print it out if you have to, and manually check it off with a pen or a pencil or something to make sure that you don't forget this stuff. Okay? First one, I uploaded and submitted my preparation outline. Okay? Please don't forget to submit your preparation outline. That's how I am able to look at your speech. I'm going to be watching your speech, but if there's something that I'm confused about, I should be able to see that in your preparation outline. And if you don't have your preparation outline, it just makes things a little bit more complicated and you're less likely to get the grade that you're looking for. All right. Next, I uploaded a video link of my informative speech using YouTube. The important part there is using YouTube. For the introductory speech, I let a lot of you give me an MOV file, which I just kind of let pass. I'm not doing that anymore. I need you to give me a YouTube link. If it is not a YouTube link, you will not get a grade for this. You will get a 0, or you will get a grade. It'll be a 0. Okay, so please use YouTube. You have access to YouTube as a Southeastern student. You already have an account. Okay, so set that up. Get acquainted with that if you need to. Next, I have a minimum of 5 people in my audience over the age of 18. Okay, they do need to be over the age of 18. I will be counting for 5, and I will deduct points if you don't have 5 people. I have my visual aid ready. Please don't forget about your visual aid. Visual aids are really important. There's tons of advantages to visual aids, as I'm sure you've been able to see and read through in chapter 14. Okay, clarity, interest, persuasiveness, retention. Very important that you have your visual aid ready. And you don't have to struggle with it during your presentation. Okay, all that does is add more stress to you. So make it easy on yourself and get it ready beforehand. And lastly, I have evaluated my group's video submissions. Remember, I will give everyone an opportunity to evaluate your group's video submissions after October 1st. So I'll probably send out an email and give you a week to do it. Make sure you get that done. That's about 20 points. Okay? Let's see how much time we have. Okay. The last bit of things that I'm going to tell you about is page 5 of your syllabus. Page 5 of your syllabus. Make sure that you read through page 5 to 6, page 5 and 6. This represents your, can you see it? That represents your speech rules. Okay, that's your speech rules. Please look over that. Okay, I'm going to be grading off of this. I have rules in here about how everything is due at midnight, which I've already said. All deadlines are non-negotiable, and I do mean that. I literally do not have time to work things back for whatever reason. You forgot, you didn't get a chance to turn it in, technology didn't work. Do your stuff on time, okay? I am not a YouTube expert, and I'm not a Moodle expert. If you have trouble, first of all, start early so you don't have trouble. And if you do have trouble, please consult technical support, student technical support. I am not student technical support. I don't want to be, okay? I'll do my best to help you, but at the end of the day, that's your responsibility. So get it done and take care of that early. Make sure that you have good, excuse me about the sneeze. Make sure that you have good sound quality and lighting quality. I need to be able to see your face and I need to be able to hear you. It's as simple as that. If I can't do that, of course, you're going to lose points. All right. Don't read your speech off of your index cards. We've already talked about that. Malfunctioning videos. If I can't open your file, your speech is going to be assigned a 0. All right. You need to test it and make sure that all of that works. The audience, we've already discussed that. I need 5 adults over the age of 18. You need to show the audience at the beginning and at the end of your video presentation. Okay, I need to know that they were there for the entire time. I should see them while you're doing your presentation. Okay, make sure that you give your speech to the audience and not to the camera. Your recording, this is very important, y'all. Your recording needs to be continuous from start to finish. If I see any type of editing, you're going to get a 0. No pauses, no editing, none of that. It needs to be continuous straight through. All right. Failure to submit an outline is going to drop you down to 20 points. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Please turn in your preparation outlines. If you don't turn in a preparation outline, you start out at an 80, and that's if your speech is perfect. Do you really want to take that chance? Ask yourself. Okay, and lastly, I will not accept video links, outlines, or any other assignments via email for points ever. Okay, I do have a link in Moodle if you would like to test out your introduction. I'm sure it'll give me a notification if you put a video up of your introduction. I will give you feedback for that in due time if you send it to me early enough, like before October 1st. I will do my best to get that out to you and give you some feedback. That being said, I hope you're on track and getting your work done. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or come see me in my office, DVIC 259. Office hours are on the syllabus. All right, bye.